Having a good time, darling? If I didn't know any better, I think you were trying to avoid me. We must make the effort to do more together in the future, don't you think? By the way, is this your earring?
Yes, it is. I lost it last week. Was it in the car?
No, I found it over there next to Nick's desk. I wonder how it got there. Have you met Nick yet? Such a nice chap with a promising career. I do hope he isn't thinking of leaving anytime soon.
Which one is Nick? Oh, yes, I think I may have spoken to him earlier. I really don't know how my earring got there. It probably got caught up in your clothes and it fell off in the office. Oh, how long do we have to stay here? This party is excruciatingly dull.
Just a bit longer, darling. I need to make my speech. You run along and find Holly. I'm going to have a word with Gabriel here.
Oh, hello, Mr. Pipkin. I'm afraid I can't stay too long tonight. I need to get home. Madeline worries if I'm out late.
Well, I'm glad you could come. It's good to have you on the team. You know, I started working here on the factory floor when I was just 18. My father said I'd have to work my way up. He said I'd have to impress him if I wanted to get promoted. He didn't want to show me any favours. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I know this business inside and out. I keep a very close eye on all the little details. That's what makes a difference, wouldn't you say?
What do you mean exactly, Mr. Pipkin?
Gabriel, you're my top salesman. You know that we have to weigh up profit against loss. We need to keep the things that make money and get rid of the things that are costing us money. Do you get my meaning? As my old dad used to say, look after the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. Do you like working here, Gabriel?
Yes, of course. It's a great company. Madeline, my wife, she's so proud of me working here.
Of course she is. These wives of ours, they always want the best of everything, don't they? We do anything to keep them happy. It makes us do stupid things sometimes. Doesn't it, Gabriel? Well, if you'd excuse me, I better go put the finishing touches to my speech. I can't keep my audience waiting.
So you stayed then, Carol? I thought you was going to go home as soon as you could get away.
Well, I figured it wasn't quite such a bad party after all.
Carol, what have you got in there? If the boss sees you, you'll be in big trouble. Your daughter's in the police, isn't she? What would she think if her mum got arrested for stealing?
I'd never want her to be ashamed by me. I'd make sure that didn't happen. Anyway, I'm not stealing, I'm just borrowing a few things. These la-di-da types, they shouldn't begrudge sharing a bit of their wealth. I mean, wouldn't you like a few extras? I mean, wouldn't you like to treat your wife to a few luxuries?
Yes, of course. Oh, she's been dropping hints about going to one of them fancy spa places for her birthday. But there's no way we can afford that on my wages.
I hear the boss has got a swimming pool at his home. Can't imagine that. And one of those hot tub things. And their kids went to posh private schools. See, our kids will never have those advantages. Dearie me. And all because the company is so successful. Mind you, do you remember a few years ago when it nearly went bust? Lucky for them it didn't.
I wouldn't put it down to luck. It was down to the banana bakewells. When they first came out, they flew off the shelves. They saved the company.
Well, God bless the banana bakewells then. I suppose those cakes have been paying my wages for the last 40 years. Speaking of which, I think I'll just pop back in and see if there are any more mince pies. I think I saw the boss's wife opening a new box just now.
Nick, sorry to drag you into the corridor, but I wanted a quiet word with you before my father makes his famous end-of-year speech. I wanted to run something past you, in confidence. My father, to put it bluntly, is stuck in the past. He refuses to accept change. Eve, you're the company accountant. You need to tell him that the only way for this company to survive is to export our cakes to Europe.
I agree with you. But it's not really my place to make suggestions like that. I don't want him to think I'm being difficult. I can't afford to lose my job. I need this job. Anyway, he'd ignore me. He's very, how shall I put it?
Pig-headed, blinkered, egotistical. Take your pick. Nick, surely he'd listen to some sensible words from you. You know, man-to-man kind of thing.
There's no chance of him listening to me. I get the feeling he doesn't really like me. As long as he's in charge, we're stuck where we are. But maybe things may change soon. You never know what the future may hold.
Well, in that case, I'm going to have to take matters into my own hands. I won't let him run this company into the ground. If I were in charge of the company, would I have your support? Both of you?
Well, yes, but you're not. He'd never let you take control.
Let me worry about that. I think we better go back inside. Looks like it's speech time.
Are we all here? I won't keep you long. I just wanted to say a few words. I'd like to start by thanking you all for another year of hard work.
Cheers to Pipkin's cakes.
Thank you, Nick. Now, as most of you know, we've made a few losses this year. But let me tell you that this company has weathered storms like this before. When the future looked bleak in the 80s, I came up with the idea of banana bakewells and turned the company's fortunes around. Modesty aside, I single-handedly saved the whole company. But for it to survive now, we have to work together as a team.
So him and his wife can keep living the high life, he means.
So what I'm saying is we can all bounce back from this. We just need to be strong and pull together. And on that note, I've got a small announcement to make.
I hope this won't take long. I told Madeline I'd be home soon.
Now, I appreciate the loyalty of you all, but in order for the company to survive, there's going to have to be some cutbacks, some redundancies. Most of these will be on the factory floor, but unfortunately, there'll also be some in this office. I'll be talking to you all individually on Monday.
That man don't know the meaning of the word loyalty.
Dad, what are you saying? We haven't discussed this.
We can discuss that later, Holly. Now, let's not worry about all that yet. I've got some good news too.
Well, it's not going to be a Christmas bonus, is it?
A couple of weeks ago, I had a new CCTV system installed in our office, so that's a big tick on our health and safety requirement sheet. The cameras are ever so tiny, so I'm sure you haven't noticed any of them yet.
Did you say there's cameras in the office?
Now, I haven't watched the footage back. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And rest assured, I can promise you that if I see anything untoward going on, I will be taking appropriate action. So you can all be assured that you're working in a safe and happy environment. And on that note, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and cheers to you all from Mr. Pipkin's Cakes. Now, help yourself to all the wine and mince pies you want. I'm off out the back for a cigarette and then I'm going home to watch some golf highlights. Simple pleasures, eh? See you all back here first thing on Monday morning.